Hey? Hey there, good man. If you're looking for company, come sit by the fire.
God be with you. What merry band is this? Who are you, my good man?
You sure you want to know? You might scarp her after I tell you.
Oh, why wouldn't I? You look well turned out.
We don't want you losing your head, though, do we? I'm curious. Who do you think I am?
Well, I'm guessing you're a noble?
Not a chance. But then again, I've got to know a few gentlemen up close and more than personally. Though our acquaintance was very brief and quite impersonal.
I don't know who you are, but I have heard that King Wenceslas used to walk among the common people, drinking wine and playing dice with them.
That's true. But now he's under lock and key and can count himself lucky they haven't shortened him by a head yet.
How would you know?
Because we haven't made his acquaintance yet.
I don't know. You don't exactly look like an angel of the Lord. I'd say you run more with the devil.
Oh, come on, I'm no devil. But I do arrange for villains to meet him. I'm an executioner. I was born Martin Brotzius, but everyone knows me as the Jester, because I reckon a joke never grieved anyone, and I say you can have a bleak calling, but a happy life. You're sure to get this one. What looks down from a height and twists and turns with the wind?
Looks down and twists and turns with the wind. A cat?
Why, Margrave Jobs, of course! Trims his sails to the wind. That one.
Well, having met the Margrave in person, I'd say everything will turn out for the better now, thanks to him.
Yeah, unless his dear uncle Emperor Charles turns in his grave first. But the golden days are long gone. Folk are becoming foolisher by the day, and I'm just waiting for them to start climbing trees naked and cackle like geese.
How about a game of dice, Master Jester?
Glad to hear that. Hope you have the coin, though, because owing me is a right pain in the neck. I don't let anyone owe me, you see. But a game without money is like a week without a woman. I mean, it won't kill you, but it's not much fun either.
What game would you like to play?
Now how about novices?
Let's play.
I'm seriously curious about you, lad. Maybe you should have saved it.
You have to have a bit of sense and count the dice.
Here. Like this. My
If this doesn't
God,
start to get interesting,
I'm done.
I'm going to go somewhere else.
Let it be now. I want to play too, you know.
Even a fool gets lucky sometimes.
That's enough.
Ludva
Your
threw a
turn.
5 that one time, then another 5 and a 1. I threw 3 2s, but I took a 1 and threw again. But then he got 2 1s and a 6.
Keep
that up and you've got it.
Enough. I'm stopping.
That was
I
good.
simply
It has to
can't
work out
believe
sometime.
it. Kurva, to hell with the coin. But that was a...
What are you doing? My. What a beautiful horse. What?
Slowly. Nice and slow.
Don't be shy. Come closer and take a look. Quality goods.
Refrain from sin. Satan is going around our city.
And here's something you won't believe. I've traveled the whole world and now I can
Don't cause any trouble. Got it?
Cheers. I hope you have an uneventful shift.
I thought it was old Bart. But then I heard him coughing his lungs up in the yard again today.
Not a chance. That old coot will outlive us all. No, it was Jan, the beanpole.
Him? He was fit as a fiddle. What happened?
They say he went to bed healthy, but never woke up. It's a mystery.
God, that's terrible.
His mother said he'd been Greetings.
By the way, like you were saying about that book,
My favourite book. Pray tell, did you find it?
as I wandered through the fortress, I stumbled upon von Burgov's chambers, and there it lay. Red leather, gold inlay, just as you said.
You really found it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
I read a bit of it.
What did you think?
While reading it, I thought the writing style seemed familiar.
Really?
Well, yeah. As if I knew the writer himself. Or herself.
Women writing books. Come now.
Why not? I bet they would write better than many men.
Such audacity.
More like experience. I once helped with copying. Most of it was boring drivel.
I can imagine. A person does all that work to learn to read and write, but then they sit you down at a table to copy the works of others for the rest of your life.
Waste of time, right?
Not just time, above all, talent.
Hold on. Who wrote this, then?
I did. Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Me? And what would I write?
How should I know? Poetry, a novel, a treatise, or a whole book?
That's a tempting notion. Who knows? In another life, I might have become a writer.
Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
I suppose I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together. You and me. What do you think?
That sounds great.
We'll have plenty of light and privacy in my chambers. Will you escort me?
My pleasure.
How should I start?
You haven't thought of anything yet?
Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in equal part.
Both? Well, fine. And what should I do?
Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? I'll take careful notes of everything.
Well, there are heaps of stories about men. So I propose one about a woman.
All right, a woman then. But I'd need to know more about her.
Such as...
Tell me one trait that is important for you. What would impress you in a girl?
Well, it never hurts if a girl is pretty.
I was hoping for something a bit deeper than beauty.
Well, what else could come to mind with you standing here before me?
Oh, come now. Tell me instead about the fate of our beauty. But please, leave her dressed.
Might as well let it end badly. That's the way of the world.
Such a skeptic. You sound like someone twice your age. Well, just about finished.
Well, let's have a look.
Not yet. Something's missing.
What?
A picture. I don't trust myself with proper illumination, but I think I can handle a sketch. Especially if you'll be my model.
What? And what on earth do I have to do?
Have you ever seen anyone play a flute? So sit down and pretend you're playing one.
As you wish. But promise you won't laugh at me.
Well, now we're done.
Finally. I'm sore all over.
Your suffering is over. Come take a look at what we've done. Your reward. Fear not, the ink has already dried. So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
It's nice. It reminds me of the fairy tales I heard as a child. Some scared me so much I nearly crawled under the table. But that's just the way fairy tales are.
My dearly departed mother used to say that the Twilight Witch would carry me off if I misbehaved. And it seems Father still wishes she would at times. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
Oh, it's pretty, really. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I know I'm no master illuminator, but otherwise, I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you for the help. I really enjoyed it.
Well, so did I. And for that matter, you're an interesting girl, and I'd like to get to know you a little better.
No beating around the bush. How about that? Please do stop by sometime. I wager it will be enlightening for both of us. Perhaps I can show you my collection of hunting trophies.
You said you could teach me something. What did you have in mind?
If you ask nicely, I'll share some of my hard-earned wisdom with you.
Very well then, Lady Know-It-All. Let's say then I come on bended knee. What scholarship can you pass on to me?
That depends on what you're interested in. There's a whole world hidden inside of books I could talk to you about for days on end. Or if you prefer actions instead of words, I can show you a few shooting tricks. But I warn you in advance that it will not come free. After all, there's nothing more valuable than scholarship. So, what would you like?
I'd like to expand my horizons a little.
What's the last thing you read, for instance? Anything interesting?
You'd better believe it. I only read interesting things, and I can talk about them for hours.
Could you teach me something?
Why not? But I warn you in advance that it will not come free. After all, there's nothing more valuable than scholarship. So, what would you like?
I'd like you to show me some archery tricks. You shoot like a... well, a wild woman.
I prefer the term Amazon.
Will you teach me?
Listen closely, so I don't have to repeat myself.
Just an ordinary white one. But it had everything. Your hair, eyes, mouth. It was the spitting image of you. It must be a sign.
I reckon you're right. I saw your likeness just the other day too.
Really? Where? On the surface of the pond? Or was it in the sky as well?
That calf of ours gave me this dopey look. And you came straight to mind.
What? Christ, you can be a real bitch sometimes.
Take care of yourself then. Farewell.
God be with you.
Slowly. Nice and slow. Whoa, whoa. I'm going to see the Mint Master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
I have an appointment with him.
All right, go ahead then. But don't waste too much of his time.
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The Assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Sigismund's just a usurper. Wenceslas is the only true Bohemian king.
Singing Ruthard's song, eh? I might have known. Speak then. What do you want? And tell the truth.
Well, I just want to climb the social ladder a bit. Nothing wrong with that, is there?
And could you not choose a different occasion for that?
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
I must have misheard you. Our business will be over when I say it is, not before. So pull your head out your ass and see to getting me into that assembly.
All right, Jesus. No need to lose your temper. You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
I'll be going then. See you at the council.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
Mind where you're going.
Mind where you're going.
What's he doing here?
Last chance. Fine wares.
What do you want, you yokel? Speak up or get lost.
I need something repaired.
Leather pouches, belts, straps, all from the finest leather.
Horseradish. Delicious horseradish.
I'd like to do something about that price.
Very well.
What would you say to this?
You must be from a poor region.
Come and get some fresh mushrooms.
Do you accept?
That's more like it. Just a bit more and we can shake hands. This is pointless. I'm done haggling with you.
Fabrics for great prices.
Shoes! Shoes here! Shoe repair!
Onions,
Repair while you wait!
garlic. Sharp like no other.
Good evening.
This could use some repairs.
Last chance.
Muslin. Barchet. I'd like to do something about that price.
Well, I suppose we can try.
Do we have a deal?
That's not enough. Aye, you'll convince me with that price. Great! What can I do for you?
I hear one Franta cooldown is supposed to come and pick up new clothes from you.
You're too late. Franta already came and picked up the goods. You just missed him.
I'll have a look at the wares.
Thank you, and take care.
Leatherwares! Quality straps!
A wonderful day for a wonderful purchase.
I've got lots. Have a bowl as well. Sound as a bell.
Mind where you're going.
Don't you think I don't know who you are?
Good evening. What do you need?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
I just have to get in there, understand? I have an important message for the king about a plot against him.
But why would you want to get to him as a waiter?
But it could be that someone from the council is mixed up in it, so I have to be incognito. See?
I see. All right then. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not. I wish you a blessed evening.
Last chance. Fine wares.
So, that thing with your
Horseradish! Delicious horseradish!
Dyed broadcloth! Beautiful colours! Striped fabrics!
What do you want, you...
What do you have for...
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything?
Apple! Greetings to...
What will it be?
What do you...
Ah, well, what can you
A
do?
fine day!
Humiliate myself a second.
Show me your wares.
Thank you, and take care.
And maybe next time I'll even flirt. Maybe a little less.
I might have guessed. How bad is it?
Well,
That's good.
come to think of
Down
it,
me.
it's nothing really.
The honest will be reformed.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He got poisoned. Probably from food. He's writhing in agony. By turns praying and cursing, spewing from both ends.
Oh, that's enough. All right. At least you're here.
We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you.
Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You know a good waiter by his properly seated cap, and you don't have one at all. A tunic you have? Hose are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. The royal waiter's livery has strict rules. So get changed quick and come back on time.
Here I am.
Let's have a look at you then. You've got a waiter's cap. A tunic you have. Hose are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarjitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarjitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
To stay in the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something?
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all. Not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it, right?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
There are the pitchers of wine. Hopefully I won't splash anyone's shoes.
It's a joke. And on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
I apologize, sir.
What are you getting
Which
at,
one?
Eldris?
White
Tokai.
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying,
Boy,
Friedrich?
are you deaf or
All I'm
something?
saying
Why?
is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison.
Sir?
And Herr König surely knows this too.
Thank you, waiter.
What is it, Eldris?
You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves.
Hey, waiter! Pour me some monastery wine.
And who is it you want to fight? Exactly. The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
It's not that long ago that some bandits burned down Bohunovitz. Nobody
Monastery
dealt with
wine,
them,
here.
or as far as I know, even started investigating. The König has his own concerns at home.
Well,
and
thank
one day
the
he will
Lord.
withdraw his army.
Quiet! The king may turn up at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then?
And a full
We're
cup.
sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
I apologize, sir.
But where
Which
can we
one?
get the
White
goods for
to
better
Kai.
equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory, and the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes.
The king fears that this town will rise against him.
Hey, where's
He
my
will be
wife?
arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
Isn't it the same thing?
So, the cleanliness of the city is not what it should be.
Youngster!
The current
some
baths
red!
in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right, Jerome.
I apologize, sir.
But a woman named Betty has
Which
showed
way?
up and
Red
hovering.
and quickly.
Wants to repair the baths that used to be there.
She's a protege of Maresh. Her efforts are commendable, but I don't think she will succeed. It takes a firm hand, not soft, feminine fingers.
Sir?
A moment ago, you were complaining there weren't enough baths. Should we support her?
Something like this is better handled by trustworthy people, like my friend, bathhouse proprietor Adam. The need for cleanliness and citizens' health should not be underestimated.
Nor over.
Is everything all right?
No.
Someone needs
But there's
to watch.
nothing you
There's
can
a
do
river
about
just
it.
a few
Come
steps
closer.
from the city walls.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
But we don't have money to spare. Arguing about
Where can I find this goblet?
Use your eyes and come right back with it, understood?
Is arguing about the same thing.
Not at all. If you'd finally admit that it's a trifle, we wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
A trifle? Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nars's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
Nice. Whose silver might this be?
So, did you find it?
I did, Master Bailiff. Here it is.
Not so loud. Show it here. That's it. And now go back to your job.
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way. At least until His Majesty on us with his visit.
I fancy some
and as
Tokai.
we know,
Refill, boy.
Gunslin absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're
Hey,
implying.
where's my wife?
Shit!
Which
You
one?
know
Are
full
you
well.
colourblind?
Everybody knows.
Why?
He wiped the floor with you. Compose yourself, Adam, and stop drinking. The king might come any time now.
That's right. Let's not burden the anointed monarch with such...
Me? Compose myself?
Good sir.
Me? I beg your pardon.
Well,
I demand that you...
Ruhe! Franz, please continue.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
And a full cup. That. Just a small
apologise,
misunderstanding.
sir.
We've sorted
Which
it
one?
out and everything's settled.
colorblind? My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
Good sir.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like
Thank you,
Rutard,
waiter.
True, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself
Hey,
while
waiter.
the king is here.
Pour me some monastery
That's
wine.
true. Because if we don't do
Sir?
something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Well, thank the Lord.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the
like
rabble
some
in the city
monastery
will go
wine.
wild and do
Refill
whatever
my
they want.
cup, boy.
I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword fighting school brought this custom to us. It's now run by the German Menhard. Who knows who that fellow is?
Don't be ridiculous.
Don't hang around me.
Sucker.
Vanish!
You
You hear
act
me?
like you've never been in a fight yourself. And to accuse a swordsmaster
can I say?
without a shred of
There's a
proof.
nice view from here.
We're not some
I'll
old
have you
fishwiser,
all
am I?
out of here.
Really?
So you will just leave it be?
I think I might
Proven
have something to say on the way
offences are
out.
punished by the
Get
day.
out of here! I
And that's
beg you!
that.
Just vanish!
There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than the open contempt of the whole town garrison.
Everything in
the
order?
guards are
Not
apparently
quite.
settling accounts
But
their
I think
own
you
way.
might be able to
We'll
help
soon
me.
Be the
Come here.
laughing stock of the whole town.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now, but if you disappear for a little while...
All right. I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But why?
Because I'm bored, and because I told you. Get on with it.
Why waste our time?
That was easy enough. And he wanted me to count the winged figures.
Never good to get those gloves, eh? Will even His Majesty have to pour his own wine to...
Meantime,
That'll be a sight to see.
To settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with...
Are in urgent need.
There are the pictures of wine.
Unversüchlich.
Hopefully I won't splash anyone's shoes.
Is a joke. And on top of that, the army was requisitioning from
Hey,
it.
boy,
Should
a
the
full
town
cup of
reserve
monastery
have
wine.
worse weapons than any räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil,
I apologize,
used
sir.
that thing.
Which wine?
That
Monastery
Hackenbush
red.
Good,
hand
sir.
cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
Thank you, waiter.
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize
Refill, boy.
what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free.
That's not a
There
good
are
idea, sir.
Raubritter
This is
everywhere in the
unbelievable.
region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight, exactly? The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
It's not
Hey,
that long
waiter,
ago that
pour me
some
some
bandits
monastery
burned
wine.
down Bohunovitz. Nobody dealt with them, or as far as I know, even started investigating. Der König has his own concerns at home, and one day he will withdraw his army.
Monastery wine here.
Quiet! The king may turn up at any moment.
Well,
What have he heard you?
thank the Lord.
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes?
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public
waiter.
baths.
You mean pour me some monastery wine.
Brothels. Isn't it the same thing?
I apologize, sir.
So, the cleanliness
Which one?
of the city
Monastery
is not
red.
what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right, Jerome. But a woman named Betty has showed up on Hopbrink and wants to repair the baths that used to be there.
She's a protege of Maresh. Her efforts are commendable, but
Monastery
I don't
wine,
think she will succeed.
here.
It takes a firm hand.
I'd like to oblige,
Soft, feminine
but
fingers.
not allowed.
A moment
This is
ago, you were
unbelievable.
complaining there weren't enough baths. Shouldn't we support her?
Something like this is better handled by trustworthy people, like my friend, bathhouse proprietor Adam. The need for cleanliness and citizens' health should not
More
be
wine,
underestimated.
Master Bailiff?
No, I have enough wine. Come closer.
Someone needs to wash.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Keeping the city clean is important, but we don't have much.
Certainly, sir.
Arguing about
I'll be right back.
who is going
Come
to
back
walk
with
where
it
in
straight
town.
away. Understood?
It's only a waste of time because we're always arguing about the same thing.
Not at all. If you'd finally admit that it's a trifle, we wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
Nice. A trifle? Do
He's
you ever
silver
walk
like
the
this
streets
bit.
here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
So, did you find it?
I did, Master Bailiff. Here it is.
Not so loud. Show it here. That's it. And now go back to your job.
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His
Waiter,
Majesty
pour
honors
me
us
red
with
wine.
his visit. And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that. Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving
full
me.
cup of monastery
Are you
wine.
defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened
I
there?
apologize, sir.
Leave nothing
Which
out.
wine?
Monastery red.
True, but in this case it really was
Thank you,
nothing.
waiter.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible
fancy
enough
some
not to
Takai.
draw attention
Refill,
to himself
boy.
while the king is here.
That's true.
I apologize, sir.
Because if we don't do
Which
something
one?
about him,
Are you
the king
colourblind?
himself will put an end
White.
to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
Sir?
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly.
Well,
Why
thank
do I
the
have
Lord.
the feeling you're not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened,
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Rutard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Rutard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts?
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If you really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom to
Boy,
us.
I'd
It's
like
now
some
run
white.
by the German Menhard. Who knows who that fellow is?
Don't be ridiculous, Forsucker. You act like you've never
I
been in a
apologise,
fight
sir.
yourself.
Which
And to
one?
accuse
Tokai!
sword
That's the
smarts
white!
Without a shred of proof. We're
Don't
not
hang
some
around
old
me.
fishwives of
Vanish!
the
You hear me?
So you will just leave it be?
Are you
Common
afraid everything will come
offences
out?
are punished
I-
by the bailiff.
I've no
And
idea
that's
what
that.
you're talking about.
There are
Keep to
more
our
pressing
agreement.
matters to
Go!
deal with.
More pressing than the open contempt
see about
of the
that.
whole town garrison. The guards are apparently settling accounts their own way. We'll
Everything in
soon
order?
be the laughing
quite.
stock of the whole
But
town.
I think you might be able to help me.
Rest
Come here!
assured the whole town is up.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel.
One more
I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now, but if you disappear for a little while...
All right. I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But... why?
Because I'm bored. And because I told you. Get on with it.
That was easy enough. And he wanted me to count the winged figures.
So, let's see what you've got for me.
I found your gloves, sir.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those winged figures?
I counted 24, sir.
And you counted correct. Good. Here you are, so you can have a bit of fun in the evening too, eh?
There's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers. Right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to make a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster?
You there, lad!
Hire more craftsmen,
A cup
start
of
with
bread.
night shifts.
Haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling
Sir?
there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
You,
you
lad!
do you?
You look familiar
And
to
what
me.
would that be?
Have we met?
Like, for
Well,
instance,
naturally.
that you'd
I
like
go to your
have
tavern
your
almost every
altar
day.
there?
Really?
So what if I would?
Then
Hold
you
your
must have
horses,
decent
gentlemen.
wages to be able
That
to visit
space
the
in the
best
side
tavern in
gate is
town
mine.
regularly.
When hell freezes over, mein Freund, your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for
Okay.
the services
And a
our
full
guild
cup.
provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be
Sir?
defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obrink.
Good.
What near
Now run along.
wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me.
Because it has all been sorted out. Not long
Hey,
ago,
boy,
the
a
guards
full cup
raided
of
and threw
monastery
them all
wine.
out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
Sir?
Thank you, waiter.
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Arsenal Tücek Össe, Elegiop Katonaikat, ich Kelkinek Utra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
And like this banner falls!
Come now, father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malishov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.